Good day guys, this is Practiphile and yeah, today we're gonna review what I have here. It's from Simgot, this Supermix 4. I know I'm late for this, but I think it's better to give my opinions, you know, not during the hype. I think I don't know, it might help other people and I mean, let's talk about how this set sounds. Thank you anyway, Simgot, for sending these over. I'm very glad that you provided this for review, but I will give my thoughts on this, unbiased, and you know, overall what I think about the Supermix 4. So let's move over to the objective first. Here is the graph. As you can see, it kind of, you know, hits my balance target right there. A little bit of sub bass boost, some treble elevation around 5k. Really nice. It's really good. So the tonality in these are clean sounding. I think most people would like it. I mean, basing from the hype, I think that a lot of people like the Supermix 4. They sound hi-fi, you know, it sounds hi-fi. You get a lot of nuance in the treble, but yeah, let's talk about that with my scoring. So let's just move on to my scoring and let's talk about let's talk about its sound. Okay, so let's start with the tonality. The tonality in this is, as I mentioned, it's clean sounding. I don't know, it's a little bit thin in the mids, and probably because there's a dip there, like because of the high sub bass and then a little bit elevation in treble, so it creates that scoop in the mids, and probably that's why the mids are a little bit recessed and a little bit thin sounding as well. So I'd say this is a V-shaped IM, you know, or maybe a mild V. I don't really say it's balanced, but yeah, I'd call it like probably a clean V-shape. That's probably what I'd say about its tonality. So for the tonality, it's fine. I'll give it 2.5. It's good, yeah. And for the bass on these are, yeah, they're fine. It sounds like this is like more of it's a Harmon tuned set, you know, or not really Harmon tuned, but at least following the curve of Harmon. Usually the Harmon focuses on the sub bass and then a lesser mid bass and then, you know, a tuck. It doesn't really have a tuck, but kind of it has that profile wherein the mid bass is lesser and the sub bass is higher. It's clean. The bass is clean. It's fast, but you know, sometimes I do feel that, I don't know, it's weird because it graphs very high, but the impact is really not there, and I'm thinking it may have, I don't know, but maybe the treble has something to do with it, that it's making it a little bit less impactful in a way. So for the bass, I'm giving it 2.5. It's not, yeah, it's not a perfect 3 for me, so it's just 2.5. Moving on to the mids, as I mentioned, they're fine, but it can be thin sounding, especially for male vocals. So they sounded like they're higher in pitch, especially with the song like Here Without You by Three Doors Down. But it's just different, you know, like it's just different. I mean, it's not to the point that he sounds like a female, but for female vocals though, they're really good. I think it's more focused on female vocals because you get that airiness from their voice, and it just emphasizes female vocals in general. So that's what I think about it. So for the mids, it's not really a perfect 3 for me, although they're clean sounding, but male vocals might sound like thin. So I will give it 2.5 for the mids. Treble, I don't know why. Like the graph looks fine. It doesn't seem to have any boost, like a lot of boost, but for some reason, well, there is a planner in here because there are like 4 drivers, like 1 DD, 1 BA, 1 planar, and 1 piezo. And it's actually very close to a sound of a planar, wherein that very, you know, like very thin sounding, but at the same time, they're also very nuanced. However, I do find that kind of timbre a bit unnatural in the treble, especially with cymbal strikes. I mean, of course, they still sounded like a cymbal, but for hi-hats, they just sound thin for hi-hats. I mean, hi-hats have a little bit of body to them. It's not really all like that, but yeah, I just, you know, it's not to the point also that it's peaky, but it's just when, I mean, it's fine with pop, with other genre. Metal, they're fine. It can resolve details, but they're, you know, just for me, it's the treble is just kind of like unrefined. Maybe that's the word for it. It's kind of like unrefined. However, For the text, I do think that they can extract more details. There's a lot of nuance, a lot of air, but that's the thing, it takes a toll on realism, you know, like you do find the details, you do find that some of those nuances are more forward, but it also affects the timbre on some instruments, especially as I mentioned the cymbals and even some guitars, wherein sometimes they're like the string is just a little bit, it feels like tighter, you know. So that's what I think. So I think for the treble, it's 1.5. Yeah, it's below average for me, but for the text, it's probably a 3, all because it, as I mentioned, it sounds like hi-fi. You may like it, you may enjoy those details like the nuance. You may not care about the timbre at all, but it's fine, it's totally fine. It's all about preference. So for me, the total score on this is 12, and 12 for me is A-, you know. It's not bad. I mean, it's good, especially for its price. And as for comparisons, there are a few IMs here that I can compare, because again, this is Harmonish, and one of them is probably, yeah, of course, the Truth Ear Nova. As for the Nova, I mean, Nova is really, it's Harmon. Let me just pull up the graph here. I'm pretty sure it's close though. Right, see that? It's very close. And probably the only difference is, as I mentioned, again, this is more V-shaped here than the Nova. Nova is like more balanced sounding, smooth treble, and you can see there that the Supermix 4 has more bass and more treble energy. As you can see there, around past 10K, there's just more energy there. So yeah, if you want a smoother replay, more natural sounding, close to Harmon, probably the Nova. If you want more fun, then the Supermix 4. Another one is, what do I have? The Chopin. Probably they are comparable with the bass. Let me just pull up the graph. There. It's pretty close. Look at the gain there. It's almost identical. It's just that the Supermix 4 has a more treble there, as you can see in the 10K, and that's probably why I don't know, like the timbral issue for me, I don't know, but it's just that, you know. You can also see there that the Chopin has a, you know, like a tuck, and it emphasizes the bass more, and the mid-range is also cleaner. So yeah, if you want impactful bass, I think the Chopin has that. But I mean, this is cheaper though. You can try, but for me, I just like the Chopin. It sounds more correct, even if sometimes the treble can be unrefined with, you know, other reviewers have said that, but for me, the Chopin treble is actually fine for me. And of course, the big brother, it's the EM10. Thank you so much, Paul Wasabi, for lending this over. Yeah, I'm just gonna give a quick comparison of these. I did a quick lesson on this one here, but yeah, the EM10, the EM10 is just like, it's a perfect strategy for Simgot, because if you like the SM4, I'd say that the EM10 is a direct upgrade for that, and it's just overall just better. Is it justifiable with double the price as well? Maybe or maybe not. Like, there are also very good IEMs around 200, you know, like you add more and you get the Butterfly, for example, you get Juno Falcon Ultra, but twice the price of the Supermix 4 to the EM10 though. That's a big jump, and I know, but personally though, like if I were to choose between these, I have 300 bucks, I'd probably get the EM10 just because it actually sounds more refined. The treble is exactly the SM4 upgraded. It's just better bass, like the bass in the EA1000, it's here in the EM10. It's just much better. It sounds more expensive, I think. Yeah, if you have the cash, you can go to the EM10, but you also have other options. If you don't have the cash, you also have other options above 200, because there are just many. There's also Cadenza 4, you know, around 200. So there are many options right now. And yeah, I guess that's all for my comparisons about the Supermix 4. All in all, would I suggest this? Maybe, yeah, if you like a fun V-shaped sound, if you don't really care about timbre, if you want to hear your music with more nuance and more sparkly something, then I think the Supermix 4 is for you. But for me, I just have mixed feelings about it. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.